The truth about Mary Tudor's reign. The rise and reign of England's first reigning queen, Mary I, is a tale of perseverance and conviction. Her journey to the throne was fraught with adversity, but her unwavering determination carved a path through the turbulent political landscape of Tudor England. Her story is as compelling as it is inspiring. The Tudor lineage is one of England's most storied dynasties, marked by ambition, intrigue, and monumental changes. Emerging from the Wars of the Roses, the Tudors transformed England, leaving an indelible mark on history. Their reign saw the nation evolve, setting the stage for modern British identity and governance. Catherine of Aragon's marriage to Henry VIII was a union of political significance, cementing an alliance between England and Spain. Their marriage, initially filled with hope for a male heir, faced numerous challenges. Despite the strain, Catherine's strength and dignity remained steadfast, even as their relationship became a battleground for power and legitimacy. Mary Tudor was born on February 18, 1516, the only surviving child of Henry VIII and Catherine of Aragon. Her birth was celebrated with great joy and anticipation, as hopes for a future monarch were high. From the beginning, her life was intertwined with the complexities of dynastic ambitions and religious conflict. Mary Tudor's early life was shaped by the grandeur and turmoil of the Tudor court. As a princess, she received an education befitting her status, excelling in languages, music, and theology. Despite the privileges, her formative years were overshadowed by her father's relentless quest for a male heir, casting uncertainty over her future. Henry VIII's annulment from Catherine of Aragon profoundly impacted their daughter, Mary Tudor. The marriage dissolution in 1533 not only altered England's religious landscape, but also cast a shadow over Mary's legitimacy. As her father's focus shifted to Anne Boleyn, Mary found herself increasingly marginalized and isolated. Following the annulment, Mary's status plummeted. She was declared illegitimate and stripped of her title as princess, becoming Lady Mary. This dramatic shift left her vulnerable, uncertain of her future, and distanced from the court's privileges. Her lowered status also significantly impacted her emotional and psychological well-being. Anne Boleyn's influence loomed large over Mary's life. As Henry's new queen, Anne sought to secure her daughter Elizabeth's position, often to Mary's detriment. Mary faced hostility and pressure to acknowledge Anne's marriage, further straining her relationship with her father and deepening her isolation within the royal family. Mary's struggle for legitimacy became a defining aspect of her early life. She steadfastly refused to recognize the annulment or her new status, maintaining her identity as the rightful heir. This resistance underscored her resilience and determination, traits that would later define her reign as queen. Mary's upbringing was marked by constant political upheaval. Despite the turmoil, she received a comprehensive education, excelling in languages and music. Her strong Catholic faith, nurtured during these years, became a cornerstone of her identity, guiding her actions and decisions throughout her life and eventual reign. Mary's relationship with her half-siblings, Elizabeth and Edward, was complex and often strained. Despite sharing the same father, their mothers' differing influences and the religious upheaval of the time created tension. Mary's Catholic beliefs clashed with Edward's Protestant upbringing, causing rifts that would later impact political alliances and familial bonds. The religious changes under Henry VIII profoundly affected all his children. Henry's break from the Catholic Church and the establishment of the Church of England set the stage for a tumultuous religious landscape. Mary, a devout Catholic, found herself at odds with the new Protestant doctrines, creating personal and political challenges. Henry VIII's formation of the Church of England was a seismic shift in English religious life. Seeking greater control and a male heir, Henry's actions dismantled centuries of Catholic tradition. This move not only altered the religious fabric of the nation, but also deeply impacted Mary, who remained loyal to Catholicism throughout her life. Mary's steadfast Catholic faith became her defining feature. Despite the Protestant reforms sweeping England, she held firm to her beliefs, often at great personal cost. Her unwavering devotion to Catholicism would later shape her policies as queen, influencing her efforts to restore the old religion during her reign. The death of Henry VIII in 1547 marked a turning point for Mary. With her younger half-brother Edward VI ascending the throne, Mary faced increased pressure to conform to Protestantism. Edward's staunch Protestant reforms and Mary's resistance to them set the stage for significant religious and political conflicts that would define her future. Edward VI's short reign saw sweeping Protestant reforms that clashed with traditional Catholic beliefs. Guided by his advisors, he introduced the Book of Common Prayer and dismantled Catholic practices. These changes created deep divisions within the kingdom, setting the stage for future conflicts over England's religious identity. Mary Tudor, staunchly Catholic, resisted her brother's Protestant reforms. She remained steadfast in her faith, secretly attending Catholic masses. Her defiance was both a personal and political act, symbolizing her commitment to restore Catholicism. This resistance made her a figurehead for those opposing the Protestant changes. Edward VI's reign was marked by intense political and religious tension. The young king's Protestant policies alienated many, leading to widespread unrest. As Edward's health declined, factions within the court vied for power, knowing his death would trigger a struggle for the throne and the nation's religious direction. Upon Edward's death, Lady Jane Grey was declared queen, backed by powerful Protestant nobles. Her reign was short-lived, lasting only 9 days. The country was in turmoil, with many questioning her legitimacy. This brief period of uncertainty highlighted the deep divisions within the kingdom and the precarious nature of political power. Mary Tudor's claim to the throne was bolstered by widespread support from those yearning for a return to Catholicism. As she rallied her supporters, public sentiment shifted in her favour. The overthrow of Lady Jane Grey was swift, marking a decisive moment in English history as Mary ascended to the throne. Mary's claim to the throne was met with fervent support from those who believed in her legitimate right. Her strong connections with powerful nobles and the widespread discontent with Lady Jane Grey's reign bolstered her position. The people's desire for stability and legitimate rule played a crucial role in her ascent. The overthrow of Lady Jane Grey was swift and decisive. As support for Mary surged, Jane's brief 9-day reign came to an abrupt end. Mary's forces quickly gained control, leading to Jane's imprisonment in the Tower of London. This marked a significant turning point in England's turbulent political landscape. Mary's triumphant entry into London was a spectacle of grandeur and relief. Adorned in regal attire, she was greeted by throngs of cheering subjects. This public display of support symbolized a return to legitimacy and stability, bolstering her confidence as she prepared to assume the throne. The coronation of Mary I in 1553 was a momentous occasion. The ceremony, held at Westminster Abbey, was steeped in tradition and grandeur. As the crown was placed upon her head, Mary's resolve to restore Roman Catholicism in England became clear, setting the stage for significant religious transformations. Mary's primary goal as queen was the restoration of Roman Catholicism. She believed it was her divine duty to return England to the Catholic faith. This mission would define her reign, leading to widespread religious reforms and intense persecution of Protestant dissenters, reshaping England's religious landscape for years to come. Mary's reign is often remembered for the Marian persecutions, where she sought to restore Roman Catholicism by executing Protestant heretics. Hundreds of Protestants were burned at the stake, creating an atmosphere of fear and tension. Her actions earned her the infamous moniker Bloody Mary, cementing a grim legacy. Mary's marriage to Philip II of Spain was a strategic move aimed at strengthening Catholic alliances. The union, however, was deeply unpopular among her subjects, who feared Spanish influence and domination. Despite the political advantages, the marriage did little to endear Mary to her people or stabilize her rule. The political implications of Mary's marriage were profound. By aligning with Spain, she hoped to secure military and financial support for her religious policies. However, this alliance also drew England into Spanish conflicts, further straining her already unpopular regime and contributing to her overall decline in public favor and political stability. Public reaction to Mary's marriage was overwhelmingly negative. Many English citizens viewed Philip as a foreign interloper with ambitions to control England. This sentiment fueled widespread distrust and resentment, which only exacerbated the challenges Mary faced in her efforts to restore Catholicism and maintain her legitimacy as queen. Mary experienced several false pregnancies, which were devastating personally and politically. Each false alarm dashed hopes for a Catholic heir and further eroded her credibility. These episodes contributed to the growing perception of Mary as a tragic and ineffective ruler, unable to fulfill her dynastic and religious ambitions. Mary I's reign was marred by the hope and heartbreak of her false pregnancies. Each announcement raised expectations of a Catholic heir, only to end in disappointment. These phantom pregnancies undermined her credibility and added personal anguish, further complicating her already tumultuous tenure as queen. As Mary's health deteriorated, so did her influence and control. The queen, once resolute and driven, faced mounting challenges from political adversaries and religious dissenters. Her physical decline mirrored the waning power of her Catholic restoration, setting the stage for a shift in England's religious future. Despite her efforts, Mary's reign left England religiously fractured. Her fervent attempts to restore Roman Catholicism were met with resistance, resulting in a country more divided than ever. The Marian persecutions, though intended to unify, instead deepened the rift between Catholics and Protestants, shaping the religious landscape for years to come. Mary I's legacy is complex, characterized by both determination and controversy. While she aimed to restore Catholicism, her methods earned her the infamous moniker Bloody Mary. Her reign is often remembered for its religious persecution, yet her steadfastness and conviction left an indelible mark on English history. Following Mary's death, Elizabeth I ascended the throne, ushering in a new era. Elizabeth's Protestant reign contrasted sharply with Mary's Catholic fervor, emphasizing tolerance and stability. The transition highlighted the profound impact of Mary's tumultuous rule, setting the stage for Elizabeth's enduring legacy as one of England's greatest monarchs. Mary I's and Elizabeth I's reigns present a stark contrast. Mary, with her fervent Catholicism, sought to reverse Protestant reforms, while Elizabeth embraced and solidified Protestantism, establishing the Church of England. This religious divergence defined their policies and legacies, shaping the nation's spiritual direction for generations. Mary I's reign, though brief, left an indelible mark on English history. Her efforts to restore Catholicism and her harsh methods earned her the controversial nickname Bloody Mary. Despite the turmoil, her reign highlighted the complexities of religious and political power struggles in Tudor England. Misconceptions about Mary I'd often overshadow her true legacy. While her persecution of Protestants is well documented, her determination and resilience in claiming the throne deserve recognition. Understanding her motivations and challenges offers a more nuanced perspective of her reign and its historical context. Lessons from Mary I's reign are manifold. They underscore the dangers of religious intolerance and the complexities of succession in a patriarchal society. Her story serves as a reminder of the human dimensions behind historical events, emphasizing perseverance in the face of adversity. If you found Mary's story fascinating, like and subscribe for more historical deep dives. Delve into the lives of historical figures, uncovering the truths and myths that shaped their legacies. Join us as we explore the rich tapestry of history, one story at a time.